Hello, I'm Oliver Gardiner for Regeneration International in Abidjan, Côtes d'Ivoire, for the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. 195 countries work all together to fight drought and regenerate land. Regeneration International is taking part in this COP, this Conference of Parties. We're here speaking to Precious Phiri, the Regeneration International Director for Africa. Hi, Precious.
Hi, Oliver. Thanks for having me.
Combating desertification in Africa is something that you know extensively about.
Over the years, we've seen ecosystems really rapidly lose the value and deserts advancing because of how we manage our land, our livestock, our resources, and also maybe how we relate with our resources as we face hardships. There tends to be lots of enmity between the human and nature. We realize that solutions really lie within us, deep within us, because we were never woven separately with the lands that we live in and that we manage.
You've been working with communities and communities of pastoralists, and you've been working with livestock to heal degraded land, to heal land that is actually desertifying. Here are some pictures of what the land you have attended looked like, and this is what it looks like today. How did you get to this result, Precious?
Working in land regeneration or regeneration of any sort takes long, right? Because it involves a lot of dynamics in one place. So, for example, we are looking at the Samburu land in Kenya, where I went to actually help some colleagues from the Gravis Zebra Trust who had invited me to come and create dialogues and visions and plans for their communities. They started implementing in 2019, and you can see the differences. And this land they continue to monitor, where they've put these marks on these pictures. So I'm so glad that they continue to send me updates.
That's really impressive, Precious. And so what other projects have you worked on?
So another project is from a community called Ndlovu, where the leadership is very strong. So I'm talking by leadership, I'm talking traditional community-based leadership. We don't jump into processes of planning before we actually go through the dialogues of what it will take for us to achieve these visions that we've created. So we start off with creating visions of values which we call holistic context, and people buy into that because this is what they would rather live by or rather die. So Ndlovu community started in 2020, and this is the picture. We started off with dialogues, and then they implemented using their animals under strong leadership.
So here we have a picture so here the land is degraded, it's dry, the organic matter there is very brittle. What caused this land degradation in the first place, and what are you bringing in? How are you using this livestock to have this result in improving soil health, improving biodiversity, and creating resilient communities to desertification and climate change?
What caused it is such an important question, Oliver. What causes land degradation and most of our world's problems is none other than management. So the way we move animals on the land is better when it mimics the natural patterns of the large herbivores that have evolved with the African savanna rangelands. And this expands to beyond just growing grasses and healing our beautiful mountains. But it also can be used, the same concept, you bring it to cropping. They use the same biological process of the animal to improve their harvest. Like this community that I'm showing you right now, this farmer is having 2 times more harvest than others. And in other years, because this is sandy, rough and harsh soil, but you can compare the 2 soil types, you can see that the other one shows that there is no food in this soil. The other one, there is food. And for this, you don't need science. You don't need to explain anything because the results will show you.
What is holistic management, and what is regeneration, regenerative development, and how should it and how could it be applied by the parties here at the UNCCD COP?
So holistic management is a simple decision-making framework that really helps us manage complexity and the dynamics that are involved in managing our environmental patterns. And regeneration is again a framework that brings in just relations, thriving ecosystems, bringing out the potential of each place if it were lost, or bringing out the reverence also of the people and the cohesion. Almost like the same as holistic management, social, economic, and ecological thriving. That's what regeneration should focus on, or is. And then when we look at the relevance in this conference that we are in, which is the COP15 of the UNCCD, my biggest dream, or wildest dream as it were, would be to have all these protocols that are created really being done holistically, or acknowledging the dynamics of the uniqueness of each place. And the first thing that would probably come into place is there is no best practice. There is all practices that are relevant to each place. And if our policies could accommodate the uniqueness of each environment and the insightfulness of the people that live there, and build the stories from the ground, coming back up, at the same time putting in funding in funnels that will really promote lots of funding on the ground with people's boots on the ground, I think these conferences would have a different vibe. If we were to use the word vibe, is it allowed on your interview?
Our interview.
In our interview, yes. So I think regeneration really helps us move from me, my solutions, this is what I've done, to a collective we, understanding that we're contributing to a bigger thing than our name, which is what really is a big symbolism of Regeneration International. We understand that this work is bigger than each one organization, and that's what regeneration is.
Okay, thank you very much, Precious, for this interview. We'll be coming back to you very soon with some more interviews, and also with some feedback of this side event that we're organizing on agave mesquite agroforestry in Mexico. Bye.
Bye.